So if you want to make sure that your Wix website actually looks good on all type of screen sizes here, well, there are a few things that we need to understand here and we need to take in mind whenever you're designing your website. So first things first, when you go to your editor here, notice that you should see or you should be seeing these lines here. Now, usually this is what we call guidelines. Now, guidelines here is a way for you to really organize how your website is going to look like. Like, for example, if you want to know like where certain sections actually end or where you should position certain elements. Now, basically, it works like a safety net. So just in case if you want to center things or you just need to guarantee that certain objects would actually appear in your website, well, you need to make sure that this section here or the guidelines here is what you're going to follow. Now, since we have like two sections in here, as you can see right now, we have the left and right here, we have the guidelines for the center. So just in case if you want to position something, like for example, I have a button here, I could just basically position it at the center, as you can see right now. Now, as you can see, it's going to be the center, but if I click on the section only, this is the center for this one, and it highlights the center of that strip. So you can just basically center that whatever way you want. But yeah, so as you can see here now, I can center it one way. So another thing that you may want to do here is if you really want to center things, well, follow the guidelines. Now, also they have certain elements in here would have columns, so it's a great idea to add those guides. So the great thing about Wix here is as long as you organize things in a way that it makes sense, it's everything will fall in place as they would. So just to give you some idea on what I'm talking about here is when you add a section in here, this is what it looks like. Now this is plain, it's bare. So when you add elements, well, yeah, you can add elements on it, but to make things more interesting, because as like what I said, you can already add elements like images in here, just the section itself. But the great way for you to organize things and make things or in a way is more organized, so it doesn't look weird on your website, is to use strips. So you want to go to add elements here, you want to go to strip and go to classic here and just add the strip that you want to use. Like for example, I have this white one, let's go and drag it in here. Now once you do have your strip, you want to go and right click, or you want to go and just click on your strip here, click on the layout option, click on add column, so that you have two columns in here. So just in case if you want to add content at the left side, this is how you do it. So you have your guidelines as well, just to make sure everything is going to be organized. Also at the right side, this is how you can go and add your own content. Now, if you want to manage your columns, you can go ahead and do that in here, change the background on it. So yeah, depending on what you want, you can even like add additional columns in here. As you can see, we have like 3 columns now. So yeah. Also, guidelines, something really important. Because the thing with Wix here, like what I said, everything is automatically adjusted. So there's not much that we could do in here if you're just using the usual editor here for Wix. So yeah, so that's what you need to take in mind here. Follow the guidelines in here. Also make use of strips and also columns here to organize content in your website, so it doesn't look weird when you preview it. Now speaking or talking about previewing it, at the top right, you have the option to preview your content or your website. Let's go and click on preview here. So just in case if you don't want to publish your website, but you still want to see how it looks like fully, well, this is how it actually is going to look like. As you can see here now, we can preview it. Now you can even publish it after a while. But let's go and click back to editor here to go back into editing our Wix website. Now in here, what we need to do is we want to basically save your changes. Just click on save at the top right here. But just in case, like for example, you want to use a different editor here, if you want to use the advanced one, well, this one is quite different because you need to rebuild your website. So just to give you some idea, I'm going to access a project or website of mine that uses Wix Studio, which is the advanced one. But I'm not going to recommend you to use this. So if you're a beginner in using like Wix itself, just use the usual editor. But yeah, let's go and go to the editor for this one. So yeah, basically with Wix Studio here, adjusting the different spaces or the margins specifically, how things is going to be positioned is quite different. So you have the option to edit your margins here. You can even define how it's going to be positioned. So just in case you want to make it sticky or whatever here, that's how you do that. You can even like adjust how it's going to respond. Is it going to scale, or is it going to going to be fixed size, or it's going to be stretch? So depending on what you set in here, this one is quite complicated compared to what we're seeing usually on a Wix. But again, if you're just using the ordinary or the basic one or the basic editor for Wix, you don't have to worry about this one. You just need to follow the guidelines, add or utilize columns and even strips as much as you can, so that you are going to have, or you will basically receive or will have a website that at least looks good on when someone actually views it. So yeah, those are the general or the basic stuff here that you just need to keep in mind. But also another thing to take note in here. So if your screen actually goes on a specific screen size, like a mobile phone, well, you may need to edit that as well, because there's actually a mobile version of your website already existing. You just need to further edit it. So usually in your editor here at the top left, you have the option to switch over to mobile. Let's go and click on switch to mobile. Now, basically, the mobile version of your website doesn't actually reflect what content is going to be shown in your desktop version. So you're just free to go ahead and just adjust everything as much as you can in here. Now, if you want to hide like certain elements, you can go and just select on that element, click on the eye here to hide that. If it actually looks weird, you could hide certain elements in here, which is a great thing if you really want to manage what to show or what to not show in your mobile version of your website. So yeah, and that's about it. Hopefully this video was able to help you like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.